So imagine this. Just imagine this. I've imagined this my whole entire life. When anything you want to possibly achieve in your life, you can do it. That's a one. You know what I mean? We're so positive all the way through. But I thought I'd just take one of these, and I thought I'd go through it because I thought it was pretty dope. You get to see the artwork until it's actually completely done. So we've gone back and forth all the time, but I wanted to go through and tell you a little bit about it. So we got these pictures here. That guy, all those years later, had to state me. That picture you've never seen, right? Because I hated my hair in it. I think Mark loved his. Glenn was fine with his, but I literally was like, look at the bleeding head on me, right? So I'll go through these with you now. This picture here is our first. It's our first ever photo shoot. First ever photo shoot with a band. Glenn used to think that he had what are those little things called trolls. He used to think his hair was like trolls. Because when we were looking back at it, we were like looking at that. It's literally our first photo shoot as a band. There was another photo shoot we did down in James's Street, down in Mark's old house, and it was kind of camera obscura, kind of. It was really strange. Anyway, it turned out really shit, and we ended up we're not using it. But that is literally the first kind of official photo shoot from the script, which is why it's on the first page. You know, obviously that's our first album and our first photo shoot, and all of the singles from the album. Look how we were doing back in the day. So we had all our old set list and stuff back. Now I know you have done this, but I haven't actually done it and gone and walked through the pictures and stuff with you guys. These would have been like our first shows where, you know, there's bands that are doing like the Barrowlands now, and they're doing like these shows where it's just like 100-seater, 200-seater venues, and it was just a crazy time. It was an amazing time. That's how we pretty much cut our chops, because we got signed straight from the Sugar Club. So this is literally us learning on the job, right? Which was unbelievable, to be honest. Bang! Then the seminal album, Science and Faith. Science and Faith comes out, and we all went off to Spain to go shoot this photo shoot. And so you can see a bit of a tan on me. We're in like a cornfield. But all of these here, these hands were actually, it was a photo shoot. And we just like, you know, Science and Faith was one of those songs that we were all looking at it and going like, well, Science and Faith for us is between, and also you can tell it's like there's tan in one hand, white hand, female hand, male hand, everything's in there. And we just felt that there's like strength and a unity in what we do and who we are as people that we need to hold on to. And that was kind of like Science and Faith, the song, you won't find faith or hope down in a telescope. That's kind of what that meant. And then moving on, you've got, I think that's the Aviva, if I'm standing correctly. Yeah, it is, because we used to have a big wedge of cheese, we'd call it, where it was like a big thing. They used to point out into the audience. We were absolutely crapping it at that show. It was unbelievable, to be honest. You know, there's some more pictures from it there. I believe this point here is when I'm going into the audience and I'm singing We Cry, and I'm getting people to sing along. And obviously people they're not checking their pitch and they're not doing anything. So when I shove the microphone on their face, I'm going, together we cry. And you go, cry on it. So it's on the DVD, which you can get, which is fucking hilarious. But yeah, they're all the pictures from that. And I look like I'm all like hands in the air. I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing when I'm on stage, particularly not back in the early days. That is a guy there that is like, if you know, take me, God, take me now. You can take me now after this show, because it's not going to get any better than this. You know, that was the Aviva. Then this is our only album now that did go number one in Ireland, but it didn't go number one in the UK. We were told by the label that because Hall of Fame was on it, I'd been on The Voice, all that kind of stuff, that there's every possibility that we don't even have to work too hard to try and make this number one. But we busted our balls all week, but we only have scraped in. It was something like 200-300 behind the number one. Not that it matters, because it's funny, because we had one of our biggest hits off this one called Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame was and still is, I mean, you can look at the streaming numbers now, it's one of our biggest songs, both motivationally, personally, and, you know, the whole way around. and we flew. This is Kevin Westerberg photo shoot, which is we actually just did like the shot for I Want It All was Charles Mei-Ling, and then the photographs that you've seen recently are all Kevin Westerberg's. So that was us. We went off to this place, I think it was in Prague, and yeah, they're all the kind of single covers that came off it. Around the same time, I ended up getting that tattoo from my dad. 6 degrees separation, blah blah blah. But that was a really cool photo shoot. Actually, we went in the middle of nowhere. And then what else we got? What was this? Oh, so these are just these are tour photos, and as you can see, then we're kind of like going abroad. So you got Radio City Music Hall, and look at the head in me there. Look, classic. So Radio City Music Hall. These places in Dublin, you only ever heard about them. You only ever heard about like playing Radio City Music Hall or Madison Square Garden, Shea Stadium, and we'd done all of these in the first two or three albums. And you know, Radio City Music Hall for us is one of those venues that I just love, which is why we're playing it again. You know, we were asked where do we want to play, and I said, to be honest, Radio City Music Hall to me, as I'm coming down the street and I just see the sign right on the side, it's just synonymous with so many of my favourite acts through the years. Bob Dylan, you know, Nina Simone, like all these amazing acts, and then No Sound Without Silence. So this photo here was actually a piece of art. It was a metal artwork that this guy had made, and it depicted like a girl and a guy kissing, or you kind of androgynous, you don't know what they are, kind of kissing. And it was actually a sculptor, and so we contacted him. We said, can we take the sculpture and then add some colour to it, and then just like kind of make it our front cover of our album. And absolutely, I just adore it, because we started to kind of turn it into Love Veins and all that kind of vibe. So it was, I'm telling you, it was amazing. Then that one